My name is Tayo Ismail. I run a company called LegalTech Business. It's a platform dedicated to advancing the growth of technology, growth of legal practice through technology. For the next 30 minutes, I'll try my best to see how I can summarize most of the things that we have, because this is a workshop. Now, where man they work, now then they do it in. Thank you very much. I want to be as practical as I can be, and I also want to give you enough things that you can go home with, so that as soon as you leave this place, you can start working on creating a substantial income for yourself. And if it works for you, the next thing that you should do is to talk to other young lawyers or other law students so they can do the same thing. Now, how can legal tech help lawyers maximize their income? First of all, what is legal technology? Legal technology is as straight to the point as possible. It just refers to the use of technology and softwares to help clients and legal practitioners. That's easy. Keep that somewhere. Now, what are the challenges to lawyers' income? Why is it that we have so many lawyers that don't have enough when it comes to them surviving in this very delicate Tinubu's economy? I'm sorry I said that, but it's what it is, you know. It was not easy for me to get forward today. I had to just talk to some area boys. They opened the place. I got in there, I got forward. But I know for a fact that some other lawyers are facing worse situations. Now, what have I been able to do to assist myself to get all these things on the way? Those are the things I'll be telling you. But before then, one of the things that affects lawyers or affects their income is underpaying clients. We have clients that do not want to pay. The second problem is legal tech career path ignorance. They do not even know that there are other career paths that they can delve into to ensure that they get paid well at the end of the month or at the end of every year. As for underpaying clients, clients underpay for different reasons. While some of them cannot afford you, most of them do not just believe that you deserve to be paid that amount of money. No matter how hard you want to believe that, maybe you went to law school, you are very intelligent, you are the law. They just do not see you as someone they should give their money. So what do? There's a psychology to all this. And I'm going to be talking from my own experience. As a matter of fact, there's this favorite quote of a person that I heard. They said, if you are somebody that is experienced, will never be at the mercy of someone that has an opinion. So whatever I'm going to be telling you here today, there are things that I've done, things that I've also advised some of my other colleagues to do, and they've been able to do it, and things have changed for them. So if things have changed for them, there's a huge tendency that it's going to change for you. I'm still on the path to growing myself, but there's nothing wrong with me sharing everything that I've learned to everyone here today. Going forward, you don't need to stress yourself. You just need to start simple when it comes to legal technology. Now, how do you start simple? You may get confused when you hear things about artificial intelligence, data, blah, blah, blah. It can get so confusing that you wonder, where am I? What are these people talking about? It was pretty difficult for me when I started, hearing data, hearing so many stringent words. There was nothing I could do with it until I went deeper into that rabbit hole, and I learned a few things. I would have loved to talk about remuneration order, but that would take our time. When you're less busy, just try to run through it. See what remuneration order talks about. See what it says and the laws, the scales you're supposed to follow and how you're supposed to charge. But let's talk about how you can actually change the psychology of clients and let them pay you very well. Before your clients can pay you, there are different things that you need to do. But something that is very simple that is actually in the lines of technology is, one, invoicing. Not just invoicing, case reports. These are things that you know. Well, I spoke with a lawyer 2 days ago and I asked her, look, that client, did you send the client an invoice? She said no. And this is a lawyer that has like 13 years experience. There is something about invoicing. Every service that you offer, right, from meetings down to out-of-pocket fees, down to legal advisory, you have to bill everything, put everything in an invoice. And if you send this to a client and that client does not pay you, just come back and tell me just come back and tell me that, but they don't pay me. I will tell you that it's either the client does not have enough money or that client is just one of the clients that is not supposed to be your own client. Because if a client is supposed to pay you, right, you are supposed to also attract the clients that are willing to understand the service they are actually delivering. If you can't attract that kind of a client, or you do not even try your best to see, okay, fine, Mr. A, can Mr. A pay my bills? Can Mr. A pay for my service? Can I even influence Mr. A's opinion about what he's trying to get into? If you can't, that's not your client. If he doesn't want to pay you for your services, you might as well just move away. But for those that are willing to pay you, and even for those that are unwilling to pay you, if you send them an invoice, out of 10, I can tell you that out of 10, 7 have been able to pay us. And how did we do it? There's one invoice here. Can you just go to that slide, please? You'd have to go back to that. This is a fake invoice that I created before coming here today. That logo is fake. You can see Mandarin Limited and the likes. This is an invoice that we sent to a client some days back. The legal fees there, the professional fees is actually more than that, but it's higher than this, but I have to just bring it down for the law students and the lawyers that are actually still scared of billing. Right? Now, the first thing that we did, statutory fees. If you do CAC runs, you know what this is all about. People charge for statutory fees, annual penalties, 2021, 2022, 2023. That's 15. You put the quantity 4, that's 60K. Board resolution draft. I can draft a board resolution closing my eyes, right? But this client wanted to get an export license. So these are the things that the client needed. So what did we do? We put the board resolution draft plus company sale. Company sale, you can get it if you go to Igbo Share. It's very cheap, quite cheap. We just did the board resolution draft plus that 75,000 naira. Statutory fees, that is CT7, 25K. Professional fees, that's 155. But ours was higher than that. But you know, as simple as this is, a lot of lawyers do not do it. That takes me to one quote that I think you should go home with. Even if you don't go home with anything here today, I need to go home with one thing, and that is legal services are intangible. For clients to pay you what you deserve, you have to make it tangible through technology. What do I mean? You can go through hell and back for clients. Go all the way to the EFCC, and one of the operators will tell you that, why you do your work like this? Which kind of lawyer you be safe? You will be insulted. After doing that, you rush down back downstairs, and you're trying to get the wife out on bail. The wife is stressing, the baby is crying. You live there, you go all the way inside, you see people from the FBI, they are trying to interview your client. You get into the space, and the operator is saying that, Parisa, please go and sit down there. I'm trying to tell you how much some operators will stress the hell out of you as a lawyer. Now, you must go through all that stress and not be able to put it in a tangible format. If you put it in a tangible format, you'll be paid for it, because as soon as you're done putting it in an invoice, in an invoicing tool, or it comes out in an invoice, the client sees, and the client is like, Omo, my lawyer has gone through hell and back from you. I need to pay you. But if you can't show your client that you've gone through hell through something that is tangible, like an invoice, you're just wasting your time. And some clients, some lawyers are so, they do not even understand that they are not supposed to be using WhatsApp to have chats with clients all the time. You can take them to WhatsApp at the point, but you are supposed to start out with an email. When they start talking to your WhatsApp, they're like, so, sir, can I get your email? They will send you the email. As soon as they don't send you the email, what do you do next? Whatever you've done for them. This is working. Yeah. Can you go back to the slide on case reporting tool and invoice, please? Just back. Yeah, no, just go back. Yeah, that's it. The invoicing tool. I'll tell you how to use these invoicing tools now. They are very simple to use. Some themselves and they go on Canva. These are things that lawyers and law students can do. For law students here, I'll tell you how you can do yours. It's also very simple. Now, for a very simple invoicing tool that you can use, it doesn't matter how long you've been at the bar. You don't have to use Canva. Just go into Google, type this into Google, create.onlineinvoices.com. It's a free tool. As soon as you get that's what I used to generate that other invoice. There are other invoicing tools that you can use, but this one works like magic. In less than 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, you're done with something. You're done with the invoice, and you can send something that looks very, very good and professional to a client. That would in turn change your services into a tangible format, and that would in turn influence the psychology of a client to believe that you're supposed to be paid for that service. Once you're done with that, what do you do next? You detail every service, including the virtual meetings. Don't just go for virtual meetings and be like, yes, I'm the You've seen me. I've spoken very fluently. It doesn't translate to your. You have to be very, very careful to ensure that you do not forget to include it in your invoice. The third one, your engagement letter, that has to do with the remuneration order. Actually in the committee of the remuneration order committee, we try our best to see how we can influence the welfare of lawyers into a better stage. But when you're listening, you can also check what that says, the engagement letter. You have to always give an engagement letter to a client if you're trying to send out, if you have been briefed for a job. You have to find out to send it to that client. Now, in that engagement letter, you have to clearly outline the content of your brief, because at some point, some clients are very overzealous. You want to do A for them, but they want you to do B, C, and D. So instead of them to stress you the hell out, I would have loved to tell you a story, but because of time, I might not be able to go that deep, right? Let me just rush into it. A client they froze a client's account. We're now trying to remove the PND, right? So we sent the invoice to the client that, look, these are the things that we're going to be doing for you. We're also trying to resolve it administratively. So pay our fees. They fees, travel fees, hotel bills, all the way to Abuja, and we go back. As soon as we go back, luckily for us, we prepared the invoice, sent the engagement letter and everything. And the client came back. I was saying that, look, you said as soon as you get to Abuja, you're going to help me resolve this. But you know what we discovered when we got to Abuja? We discovered that there was more to it than what we saw. That actually they did a few things, and I don't want to go into too many details of the client, but it was quite dirty and rough. The client was involved in certain shady things, and when she started stressing, what did we do? We just sent her the invoice and sent her the engagement letter that these are the things we're supposed to go to Abuja for. We were just supposed to go there on a fact-finding mission. It saved us a whole lot. But that invoice that we sent helped us to get that income into our pocket, and it was not bad. Now, dedicated email, I talked about that earlier on. Find a way to send emails to clients. Don't always use WhatsApp for professional interactions. Please, can you get the next slide? That's that. Now, for those that are wondering whether you have to be typing a case report every time, case reports are things that you should also add to the invoicing. After sending the invoicing, you've added the engagement letter, you have to send a case report. I went through hell from point A to point B, right? You don't have to write that, okay? But you know what I mean. At this so point in time, we reached out to the NCCC, MPF NCCC. We had a discussion, and we were resolved that this will not be able to, we're not able to lift the PND as investigations are still ongoing. Things like that. Write it in a very, very, professional format and send it to the client. For everything that you do for a client, for every service that you offer a client, always learn to send what? A case report. Now, what I always do is this. This is a simple prompt I always use in ChatGPT. With this, you can develop a case report in less than 3 minutes. What do you need to do? I want to teach you a bit of prompt engineering here. Now, if you start with this, please ignore all previous instructions. What it means is that you must have been prompting ChatGPT, stressing the hell out of the application. So what you need to do is just make it come back to the status quo. Ignore all the previous Can you go back there? It is ignore all previous instructions. You are an experienced lawyer that provides updates to your clients with ChatGPT. You know what you're telling ChatGPT? You're trying to bring ChatGPT into the level of a very, very smart lawyer that knows what he or she is doing. Your English language is simple. I will send some details to you. Write a formal update to your client using these details. Be brief and professional. I like adding this last one. No yapping, please, because ChatGPT can say a lot of crap. So I don't want you to yap around, right? No yapping, please. Then you add the client's name. Always use the first name because of data issues, right? Case name, always use the first name as well, data protection laws. The current status of that case. That's the hell that you went through. Include any recent developments or updates, key highlights, mention specific blah, 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 next steps, outline upcoming actions. All this, you just need to put them in one sentence each. It will develop something substantial for you. Additional notes, any relevant information. Once you send that ChatGPT, it's going to send you something easy and nice and professional that you can send to the client. If it doesn't send it to you, please call my phone. I know what to do. I know what to call. Right? Next slide, please. Now, you have to remember to use the legal practitioner remuneration order as a guideline. This is exactly how some of my friends' firms were able to generate a minimum of 700K every month. And these are firms of less than 5 years. And this is fact. You can take it to the bank. One of them is a lady, the other is a guy, right? And they've been able to do very well. These are the things that they've been able to do over time, and they're doing it well. And their law firms are actually growing very, very well. It's unfortunate that in this part of the world, in most part of the world, the business of law, how to run a business is not taught in law schools. The only thing that we're taught in law schools is the practice. As a matter of fact, the practice is not even fully taught in law schools. You have to practice on the streets, right? So what you are supposed to do is to do what? What I said earlier on. Legal services are quite intangible. For you to maximize your income as a lawyer, you have to make it tangible through the use of technology. Can we just go to the next slide? The second thing I'm going to talk about is legal tech career ignorance and apathy. Apathy means you're not really inclined towards something. Legal tech career, blah, 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 you know what that means. Now, legal tech careers exist. But how do you go into something that you don't even know exists? That's where I come in. I'll try to just see how I can talk about one legal tech career that I think people, law students and lawyers should find a way to delve into. And that is mostly creating a legal tech startup, okay? I'll talk about my pocket counsel. It's an amazing, please give you a round of applause for her, please, Mrs. Former. No, it's also pocket lawyers. Yeah, it's there too, it's there somewhere. Is there some? Okay, I think it's on the first slide. Well, my pocket counsel is the other guy that got, what's it called on Google? You know, the Google Black Founders Fund. I think they were like $4 million. It was able to join 40 other startups that got something. My pocket lawyers, what they do is that they have a platform that has virtual law firms that you can actually jump on there, have a virtual law. But before then, what you guys were doing, you guys were offering legal services differently. I was at LBS with you guys when you were on the stage, so I know a lot about you. When I delved into legal tech fully, I researched a lot of companies. I got to meet a lot of people virtually, and she is one of the people I met virtually, but you know, we're meeting physically for the very first time. Yeah. And a lot of people here from Eddie Young down to Kelechi and the likes. Now that's what legal tech careers do for you. It cuts your journey by half. If you're someone that knows about technology, if you're supposed to get to a particular stage in your career in 10 years, trust me, technology will cut it by 5. You can walk into rooms where senior lawyers are talking and you'll be able to sit down. Why? Because you've been able to advance into the technology space. But what I'm also happy is that this space that we're currently in, the fact that I'm here with everybody here, there's a huge tendency that people will be starting billion-dollar companies from this conference. And I'm really, really proud to be one of you guys. Now, my pocket counsel, Clio is run by Jack Newton. They raised 900 million. She said it earlier today. Definely has 2 founders. One guy is white. The other guy, his name is Inamdi. I think Inamdi is currently the CEO. They raised over $7 million in May. It's a legal tech startup, right? The guy dumped legal practice and focused on legal tech, and he's doing well. These are businesses that I believe that Nigerian lawyers should be able to create because we are way too smart to be going through what we are going through as legal practitioners. It's just that we don't talk about it enough. We have Tech Lawyered here, we have Law Pavilion, we have legal tech business. There are so many opportunities in the market that I think we should find ways to delve into. Reasons why we should all try to find a way to explore legal tech career paths. One, not all law students will go to the law school. No matter, you see, look, you can get angry from now till tomorrow. You will never understand the pain of a law student that finished from Udegbe and their course got disaccredited. Or law school will never accept them. So what's going to happen to such a law student? Let's imagine that a law student is a guy. You have to get married. You have to take care of your children. What are you going to do? Are you going to go back to, are you going to try to gain admission into Unilag when you're already like 35, 36? We're not supposed to lose all our lawyers because they do not understand that there are other career paths that they can still find a way to influence the legal profession or offer legal services. Those are the people that we also need, those people in the legal tech ecosystem. Not all lawyers want to practice. I was speaking with a very smart lawyer. She told me that, look, if only I had as much passion for law as I have for legal tech, when she said that, I had goosebumps all over me. Not all lawyers should be forced to practice as lawyers. They don't want to. Why should they be forced? But they can still be in the line of tech. It could still be in the line of law by going through legal technology. Number 3, legal practice may become monotonous and unfulfilling. Sometimes it's not really about you're smart, you know what you're doing, you have a large client base. Over time, you might get bored. Legal tech might just be, law might just be very, very boring for you. Today, you have to be in court. I saw one lawyer one time. She was so stressed that she was with her wig and gown on a bike going to the next court. Now she's in Canada. Every day she would tell her, bro, I'm tired of London. And she was working in a very good firm. Very, very intelligent, pretty girl. Married with 2 kids. She's in Canada now. She said she doesn't want to hear anything that has to do with law. If only she knew something else. I'm telling you, if only she could do something else that could let her survive, you know, with the experience that she has, and she will still be in the lines of law, but not going to court and not seeing, not working with, in the hand, not working with other lawyers. And that's what LegalTech provides, right? Next slide, please. So I want to quickly just give a case study. I want us to just create a LegalTech startup sharp here, right now. And I'll see how we can make it work. LegalTech startups should not be too complicated in our heads. You know, if you're trying to go into LegalTech, I think what you should be doing is you should be trying to work on a business that people are already paying for. Ideas are very beautiful, but you can get a trapid idea. You can get involved in an idea that will take you down. Ideas that do not bring in income will just lead to depression. Don't let anyone lie to you. If you start running around, you might have a serious headache at the end of the day after like 3 to 4 years, because it's difficult to drop something that has not been able to help you if you are very passionate about it. You will just be hoping and hoping and hoping. And you hope for 3 years, hope for 4 years. 4 years now, you're better on the whites. What's going on, right? That's really horrible. Now, what you should be doing is you're going to be creating a legal tech. That's just what I feel. You know, people are allowed to be first movers, but I just think that people hype first movers too much. They don't even talk about second movers. Second movers already have the data to know that this business is not something that should be going into, making money for people. And that's what I learned during my research. This is a hack that you should know. The best legal tech companies, the most profitable legal tech companies from my research, right, are the legal tech companies that offer services to not just lawyers. You need to take this today, but lawyers and regular individuals, final consumers, businesses. Let's create a legal tech startup. A legal tech startup that aids the incorporation of companies. A lot of lawyers incorporate companies. Before you know what's happening, they will send you, I incorporate companies. They just get one somebody's Canva and put it on their own page too. Incorporation services. They will send something weird. How do you want to incorporate? It's just so ridiculous. You can actually make a huge margin if you use legal technology. You can create like it's a very simple MVP. What do? Get on WordPress. If you can design WordPress, if you can't, you can even get a regular person to design a WordPress website for you for like 70,000 naira. Add a form to it. All the details you always collect on WhatsApp, those are the same details you'll be putting in that form. That's exactly what so many other companies have been able to do. A few companies have been able to do. Companies like Legal Trunk, Nobase, for example, gets Nobase charges like $120 for company registration for crying out loud. And you are there wondering that, if I charge more than 50K, would they patronize me? Of course they will patronize you. What do? Put a form on that website, get all the details through the back end. You can charge a minimum of 85,000 naira for registration. Minimum of 85,000 naira. Once you get all the details in the back end, finish the registration, send it back to them. I want to be very realistic with numbers. That's a margin of 50,000 naira. The cheap, most of the time, you're going to register a company. You can register a company for like 35K. Bad as bad, maximum, whatever wallet you want to go through, right? You have like 50K margin. If you can register 10 companies in a month, please, how much is that? I need to know you guys are here with me. I can't hear you, please. That's 500,000 naira. And the only reason why you'll be able to get more people is because you can finally run ads with your company. You can finally run ads with your company. You can finally run ads with that platform. You have it, ask somebody to create a Canva for you, Canva business what's it called, a picture of the business on Canva, you put it up on the internet, you put it up on Instagram, boost the post. You. And the funny thing is that you can actually, there's no how, I don't know why you can even get 20 customers in a month. If you can get 20 customers in a month, please, how much is that? How much is that, please? 1 million naira in a month. Show me why a law student in 300 level that doesn't know where he or she will be getting as law can do something as simple as that. Must she wait for her to graduate? Must she wait to graduate? Must she wait to get into law school and now wait for 3 years and now be paid like how much every month? No. Those are simple tech businesses that I think they should create. But before you go further down into the whole, that rabbit hole, you need to first of all set clear goals that are processed. What that means is that if you're trying to design a company, like I just said, set a clear goals. What am I trying to achieve? What is going to happen? Is this a business that already exists? Fine. What I'm doing now is that I'm just trying to use technology to do what? To supercharge that business. And it makes it very simple for you. Number two, conduct a market research. If you're going to conduct a market research, you need to set the size of your target market. Let me see if I can get you. There's something that, there's a research, there's something that I always go on Crunchbase. Your ideas are not that unique. Don't think your ideas are unique. Somebody somewhere has already created something like that. So what I do is that I go on Crunchbase. If I have like a company incorporation platform, I can type, I'll go on Google first, type company incorporation platform. Once you type that, put a country beside it. You can put USA. You will see a number of startups that are doing what you're doing. With that, you can go deeper into that rabbit hole, like I have been using. See what that company does. Look for the founders. Go on YouTube. They will tell you about their challenges. You are not supposed to do what they are doing in Nigeria, but you are supposed to understand their challenges. So you'll be starting from an informed point of view. But you should learn this. If you discover that your idea does not have people that have done it, it means that nobody has done it before, or it also means that somebody has done it before, the person has failed. So that means you shouldn't delve into it. It's the last slide. Engage the potential customers, test your products and advertise, research similar ideas. That's what I talked about. Can you go, please? Now, to learn more about this company has like a free course, legalserviceinnovation.com. That free course, you can check it to learn more about how to create legal tech startups. Then you can also check Y Combinator classes on YouTube. Last slide. Now, this is a prompt for you to generate a business idea. Don't rush yourself. If anyone needs it, you should just reach out to the organizers. They will send you this slide. You can easily just, you can just develop a legal tech business idea with this prompt. Put it in ChatGPT. You're good. Don't rack your head too much. It will analyze everything you need. I developed this for people that really want to learn how to create legal tech startups. It will guide you. It will prompt you into the space of the knowledge of you creating your own startup. It will list out so many things. It's just a starting point. It's not final. With time, you tweak it. Next, please. Next, you can audit that. You can audit your ideas. If you have like one amazing idea, you use this prompt to audit it. Next one. Now, final thought. Legal services are intangible. You know what it means. It means that you can't see them. To maximize your income, make them tangible through use of technology. Now, the careers of lawyers are not always threatened with tech. It's always enriched by it. Let that be your guiding motto. Technology will always enrich your career. It's not going to take anything away from you. Don't let anyone lie to you. Explore legal tech career opportunities. But this is one thing I also want to talk about. We clearly have an access to justice problem. We do. But for us to solve it, the major players, you and I, we have to maximize our income because that's the best sword to fight the true battles that lies ahead. At the end of the day, a hungry lawyer, just a matter of time, is going to become a dishonest lawyer. Thank you.